So before TikTok gets shut down, if in fact it gets shut down, I have been asked to do something that I've not done before on a public platform. Oh my gosh. I just literally spent the last 9 minutes prepping you for what I'm about to do. And TikTok just didn't even record it. I swear, I feel like, my mission to help women overcome their trauma is always thwarted with TikTok. There are keywords and things that I know that I must be saying that TikTok is like, nope, shut it down. That's concerning to me. I'm gonna try it again. Maybe I'll pause in between just to make sure that it's being recorded. I don't know. And try and watch what I say. But I have been asked to share with the world the reason why I do what I do. If you are a friend on my TikTok, if you follow me, if you are a friend of mine, like a real friend, family member, then you already know about my story and how I've been able to overcome past traumas, that I am a survivor, and that I, published a book that has really been helping women to also overcome their trauma. It has given them courage to tell their own stories and allow them to not feel shame or embarrassment, knowing that it wasn't their fault. Because here's the deal. And just so that you see, this is a published book you can get anywhere. But what has also been brought to my attention is that not everyone can afford to buy a book. Not everyone has time to read a book or listen to it, because it is available on Audible. And that, there's this thing happening across social media now where, people want to be read too. I've read this book before, when the book first was released, a few years ago, but never in a public forum have I read through the entire book. It is very traumatic and it can be very triggering for some, including myself. Although I do feel like telling my story has empowered me in ways I never imagined I could be empowered, and that I kind of feel like Superman. Not Superman, Superwoman. But, and I know that I'm also risking telling the story on a public TikTok platform. And I know you guys can be a little insensitive and mean also sometimes, just depending, just trolls and all the different things. But I'm willing to take that chance. I'm willing to risk it all to be able to help someone else, right? Because if I help one person, then I've done my job. Now, I will say that my focus is women, although I know this is something that happens to men every single day. But my anointing, my walk, my journey has been to empower women, when it was through my music, also through, my career as a certified sexual health consultant. You guys know that I sell products. I talk about products, intimacy, improving your life in the bedroom, all the different things. But when you have been a victim from strangers, family members, it shapes your life in ways that are not always positive. This is going to be good, y'all, because everything that I recorded after that last pause, again, was not recorded. Like Facebook, it just disappeared. And I even paused it and came back and said I was pausing it just to make sure that everything was captured, and I thought that it was good. This is now like take 3. And this has happened to me before, because again, there are certain words, certain things that are said on this platform that they don't want talked about. So forgive me if I pause in between again, because I'm not trying to pause and pause and pause. I'm trying to talk to you before I actually read to you this story. And I don't know if TikTok's going to let me get through it, but I'm going to pause right here just to make sure that even what I'm saying to you right now, before I go any further, is actually being recorded. So far, so good on that. But I'm not going to go the next 5 minutes and not pause again. Okay, so what I was sharing with you is that when we experience trauma as a survivor, right? Victim/survivor, it shapes and molds everything about your life after it happens. Your relationships, not just your intimate relationships, but your relationships with just friends, your family members, your children. You can become an introvert. You can be introvert, extrovert. You can be promiscuous. You can be, you can go through depression. There are, people that unalive themselves, right? Just depending on how the person's built, the level of trauma they've gone through. But your past does not have to define you. But if you're not talking to someone that you can relate to, that they can actually get you to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you just might not make it to that light. So I am a retired recording artist. So there is some information in here as well. There are names that have been changed to protect other people's identity, also to protect me legally, okay? It's not a tell-all, this is just my story and my journey and the things that I went through that led me to where I am right now. I feel more empowered than I've ever felt in my life before. I legit feel like Superwoman, but I had to go through what I went through to get here. And if you're someone that's out there struggling because you've got a past, I've read this on a private, in a private, forum, never publicly, but the things I learned from people privately, their daughters that never told their moms that never told their daughters. They didn't know that they had gone through this type of trauma and that there were family members that did it. Those that are outside the family, it was just secrets. And how do we heal our families? How do we protect our legacies going forward? How do we empower one another to prevent it from happening to the next person? Where's the accountability? Because, in a lot of families, especially minorities, it's tell no one. You sweep it under the rug. It's your family, it's your brother, it's your uncle, it's your cousin, it's your father. You don't tell. So my story is for millions of people I know that are going to watch and listen. If it's not for you, it might be for someone else that you know. Trust me, you know someone, whether you know their story or not, share it with them. And I didn't have a plan for sitting down and reading this. I was getting ready to change and go to the gym. I'm trying to get my body together and something's saying you need to do this. And it's probably good that I don't plan it, because if I plan it, I'll probably chicken out and not do it. So I haven't gone through to see how long it'll take me to read this. I can only do it, of course, in 10-minute increments. I don't know, but I'll probably just start by just reading one chapter. And if there are shorter chapters, maybe I can get more than one chapter in one video. I don't know. I have no idea, but I ask you to be kind, because again, this can be triggering for me and many other people as well. I do what I do to help other women in their relationships, whether they're dating someone, married, or dating themselves, so that they can become a better version of themselves and become confident and rebuild their self-esteem. So because I've only got a little less than 2 minutes on this video, I'm going to just read 2 reviews. One is from Leanne Rhodes, who is the author of Rise Up, Shine On, and Just Prevail in the Middle of the Storm. She says, sit down, grab the tissues, and get ready for a roller coaster ride of emotions. The battles Angela Robinson has fought are traumatizing in many ways. Her story shifts from anger to joy and sadness to triumph, reminding us throughout that our past need not define our future. Be prepared to pick your jaw up off the floor quite a few times. I know I did. And the last review before I end this video comes from Rashan Adams, who is also an intimacy coach. And she says, "Who Are You?" is not just the autobiography of Angela Robinson, but a look into the soul of women who suffer in silence. It is a book that any woman can relate to. I had the same uncle whose lap I could not sit in because of his perverted ways. I too knew women who punished their children for the sins of the father. The author's transparency will help so many women who have been through hell understand that their story is not over. In fact, it's only just begun. Stay tuned. Chapter 1, Trauma.